Today's episode, first of all, I want to say our prayers go out to my man Leo. His family has a little tragedy. Hopefully it'll work out and that he'll be back here on the next episode. But today, we're going to talk about if you want to be a dog trainer, right? Now, I'm not a dog trainer. I don't profess to be one, nor did I pretend to be one. Am I a part of a dog training club? Yes, I'm a part of a couple of them. South Bay Malinois club that I'm a part of. This is Caleb, one of the master handlers under the tutelage of Sykes, okay? So we're right here. Is it Gardena?
Yes, Gardena.
Okay, we're on the edge of Gardena and Carson. So basically we're in LA. So we're gonna do a little demonstration on what you have to incur before you start incurring invoices and bills. You gotta incur bite work, you gotta incur highs and lows. You can't come into this game like anything else. I always revert back to Chandler, the snake handler on YouTube. He's been bit by his own cobras. He's been bit by crocodiles, and he is still doing what he loves to do. So what I'm saying, with this game, you can't be coming in here that you're a dog trainer and you ain't never took a bite from nobody. You ain't never took a bite from any dog. You ain't never been injured. You ain't never failed. All you've done is succeeded. And that's not reality. Do some demonstration work with Casanova. If you hear him barking the storm up right now. But we're gonna put him on the table and we're gonna show what a working dog's supposed to do when he gets on top of a table to do some work. I got another person, a special guest. He's a friend of mine named William. William has never put on a bite suit in his life. He's never taken a bite work. The most he's done is check temperatures with a thermostat in a dog's. He's gonna take a bite from a dog he takes care of from time to time, which is my dog, Casanova. This is Caleb. Caleb is 24.
Yes, 24.
I got a son, 26. And how long you been training right now?
Almost 10 years.
See? And why did you get into it?
Really? Because it was like fascination. Like, at that time, the transition, everybody had pit bulls. But then at that same time, pit bulls is no longer the go-to dog, right? Because of the stigma. So now you found a dog with just as much grit, but more brains than the pit bull you could do more, right? And then the dog training aspect is just opened up another avenue.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And therefore, it basically kept me in a good place, like how kids play sports. But this is my sport. Once you get into it, it's a lifestyle. It ain't something you can really fake the funk because there's a lot of trials and tribulations. It's not for the weak. You got to really want to do it.
A lot of people who know me know I come from a troubled background. You know, my mom battled with drug addiction, etc. But what I did, I chose baseball as an outlet. My mother was letting me do any and everything I wanted to do. So if it wasn't for baseball and if it wasn't for school, I'd have been like either dead in jail or anything. So for me, I chose education as an outlet. So I chose college as a place to stay, my safe haven. It was my refuge. And so I knew I had to make at least a seat to keep that student loan financial aid coming in, right? So I chose education to get out of the house that it was such in a bad place, right? So a lot of cats, whether they come from great backgrounds or troubled backgrounds, they find something as young men that they're passionate about, and it diverts them from what they could be doing.
Yes,
right?
Also definitely.
So we about to get this boy on this table. I'm gonna play with him a little bit with some tools and some toys, real toys that I got from South Bay Malinois, right? And this is how we get our dogs stimulated. Again, I'm not a trainer. I don't profess to be one, but if you're trying to be a trainer in this game, think about it first. Come take some bites and do it for no money. Then we know where your head is. Woo! Let's go. I see.
But you see how he's playing with using the toy?
Attack! Attack! Good boy! Training with a real trainer, teaching a dog how to bite from the back, which is where the power is. So if you people out there watching YouTube, Instagram, and you think you're creating a good imprint, you're making a bad imprint until you get with a trainer that knows what to do, because it's hard for a trainer to correct the wrong. And it takes longer. When it takes longer, guess what? it costs you more money. Caleb gonna do a step-by-step demonstration on a new beginner who wants to do dog training and not check dogs' temperatures anymore with a thermostat up there, right?
And then you bend your elbow up, but backwards, right? We want to put that dog right here. Okay. Right there, right? But I don't want you to be tense. Yes, I want you to be loose and comfortable, right? So you're able to actually establish feel for the dog. Because it's not about so much of what you see externally, it's about what you feel that lets you know what that dog is thinking and feeling in his mind, right? Because we can tell the difference in pressure, right? When he's full and he's punching down, that's a confident dog. A dog, when he starts to feel a little bit weaker, he'll start to slip and you'll feel it, right? And those things is important to know because you got to be able to help that dog and adjust. If you're not adjusting and you're not reading the dog, then you just person getting bit.
And one thing I do know, and Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong, once Casanova's got a good grip on him, have him to slip out of the coat because this is a game, and the dog must win every time.
Yes.
It's all about winning for the dog. We want to keep building confidence. Watch him. Yeah.
So, you ready? Get his attention. Get the dog attention. Scream at the dog. Scream at the dog. Scream at the dog. Get his attention. So, and you're gonna sit down. And you're gonna use your shoulder. Here. There you go. There you go.
Good boy.
There you go.
Good boy.
There you go.
Yeah.
See how you can feel it? Relax. There you go.
Good boy. Attack.
Good.
Good boy. Good boy.
Good. You see how you feel
Yeah. What's it? Oh my God. Good boy.
Make it.
Good boy.
There you go.
Yeah. Good
There you
boy.
Slip it.
Yeah. All right. Come out of it.
There you go.
Come out of it, Will.
Good.
Good boy.
So the purpose of him slipping out of the coat was to make the dog confident for doing the job. So it's almost like we can view it as a reward. So now that this dog has did the job, he must win every time to keep the medal. He should feel like a kid that never lost a fight. He's a champion every time. As the job gets harder, he gotta up himself to the criteria. We never load a criteria for the dog just gotta meet it. We just take it step by step by step by step and build it brick by brick. You do have a dog where he's never lost a fight in his life, and he's going to every situation confidently, you don't have nothing to worry about. It's a warrior. A dog that has never took a loss, I guarantee you, he's gonna bite a man. He's gonna bite. It's different when a dog get out the yard and he chase you, right? He doesn't know or have the fundamentals to actually hurt you or commit to the job of biting you, right? Because he doesn't know how to handle the stress. But now you have a dog who has the nervous system built up for the work. He has the drive, the proper attitude. There's nothing else you can ask for. You see it. How many good Dobermans you seen in the pet home, right? It was like, that would make a perfect working dog, right? And it's so much vice versa because people either like, oh, he looks pretty. Then if you want the pretty looking dog, but he's a working dog, I think you should rehome that dog to somebody who can feel the purpose of that dog.
Yeah. Versus
you wasting away. Because that's what I see now. Like I done seen way more pet dogs that actually work better than dogs that's being bred for the work or with people who want the dog for work. Which is, to me, makes no sense if the breeder is supposed to be you selecting the puppy for the person. So if this is working quality versus pet quality, it's your job to make the distinction.
People are getting these exotic dogs for the look only
Facts.
and not really knowing what the history is, what the dog's purpose is. To me, it's almost like, why buy a Corvette and then put a V6 engine in it? No, you buy a Corvette because at some point you want to go, right? You want to have that ability to work when you want them to work.
Hey!
Ooh! Oh! Whoa! Ow! Oh! Hey! Ooh! Good boy. Attack! Ooh! Oh! Oh! Good boy.
There you go.
Now see, I'm in the dog fight with him. My dog knows that I'm in the dog fight with him. What's it? What's it? Good boy. Yeah. What's it? What's it? Good boy. Yeah. What's it? What's it? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. What's it? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah, so this, bruh. What's that? Good boy. Woo! Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. boy. Yeah, so does bra, my man. So does bra. Good boy. Attack. Attack. Good boy. Good boy. He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. He needs to know that I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. I can go over here and he's looking at me, right? But he's watching him. I can come back and I tell him myself, well, right now, watch him. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? And he's back on him. He's back on him. And this is all a part of training that I've learned from Sykes, Lewis, Al. If you're trying to be a dog trainer, you need to first know how to read a dog. They're gonna tell you as a dog trainee that all dogs ain't built for this. This is one part of building drive, building confidence.
I would say like this, as far as building yourself up to be a dog trainer, I feel like just as the dogs need a foundation, you as a person need to have a foundation, right? Because we gonna go to this, what I just learned from Charlie Randolph, and I love it, 4 principles of dog training, which I believe goes over to people too, right? It's called understanding, application, intensity, then duration, right? So once we have an understanding, then you do the application, but we don't be greedy for duration, right? We want intensity.
Right.
Because you can only get intensity due to the fact of understanding, right?
Right.
So now, if you go back to that, put it in perspective of foundation, and then from the foundation of understanding dogs at a base level, and then continue to educate yourself. Because now you're able to rationalize everybody's different concept of how they view dogs, right? Based on the foundation of how you already perceive them. Versus it's like too much information at one time and you have an overload.
Yeah.
Because it's like this, you can only apply so many methods on one dog, right, before they start to collide. Because every time you do something to the dog, there's a cause and an effect of everything. You might not see it there, but you might see it down the line. So that's why it's important to know and be around the people with experience. Without people with experience, guess what? Everybody just trial and error. That is dog training, but within reason. There's a difference between making an educated guess and a dumb guess.
I admire dog trainers, and no bullshit. I mean, Lewis is one of the first dog trainers that I encountered. He kind of helped me get out of depression with the assistance of my first dog. When it was always talking about evaluating the dog, and that's one of the things that is a learned art, because I may think a dog may have what it take, right, after a few things of them doing ball drive, rag work, or whatever, but then as the process continue, the trainers figure out quickly, like, yo, this dog, especially if he's an older dog, this dog ain't built for it.
Dogs with prior trauma, right, meaning life experiences that can offer, right, how they express their drives. Then we have a dog who genetically just don't have the nervous system.
Yeah.
So he does have the drive, right, the courage and these things, but genetically his nervous system doesn't allow him to go through with those things, right? And that's just called something that happens in breeding, right? Then you have dogs who have drive that lack heart. And heart is something we cannot train. That's something that you're born with.
Yep.
And therefore, yes, some people have to go through the harsh reality. It's like, yes, this dog does do bite work to a certain point. Every dog has a ceiling, right? So therefore, that's what's gonna dictate the level of dog you have. There's different lanes. Like how he said about a car, you got V6s, you got V8s, you got V12s.
Yep.
The average first-time handler shouldn't go get a V12 type of dog. Because you know what? You don't know how to drive it. These dogs are not meant to think for themselves. They're meant to go to a person who can think for them and utilize the dog. At the end of the day, they're a tool. They're not a pet first. They're a pet secondly when you get in a working dog. And a lot of people misconstrue the two, and it's a difference. Like this, and you know, selling working puppies to people, it's always conflict versus a working dog in a family environment.
Yeah.
Because their interest is into pet behavior, but also at the same time, they say, oh, I want this rambunctious, crazy dog to be this, you know, they want him to be the Hulk. But they don't understand the process that takes to make a Hulk is, guess what? You have to let them be a little bit crazy. But that doesn't really go into everyday life when you're running the household. You see what I'm saying? So now there have to be some type of things, sacrifices.
And then too, you know, I've been doing Dobies for 15 years, and I've had my fair share of bad Dobies and good Dobies. And I will say this, us Americans, we get caught up in the aesthetics.
Yes.
The looks of the dog, the size, the ears, the markings, the bone structure. But what they don't pay attention is the intangibles, the inside, right? Because we get a lot of returned dogs, no refund, We get a lot of return dogs because, oh my God, he tore up my jacuzzi top. He tore up my grass. I said, you do know that these dogs work. I don't breed pets. And so they end up returning. A case in point, I got a dog back from a guy in LA, from one of my offsprings. And this particular male was the only male that survived the litter. He had the dog for about 1.5 years now. And I took him back because I knew what he was all about. We're talking about Bo, right? And Bo had had bad, and this all again, bad blueprinting.
Yes.
You know? And Bo didn't respect people. He didn't respect the people that was feeding him. He didn't respect the people that was petting him. He didn't. So to a serious dog trainer, he has a place for him. But again, I'm not a dog trainer, but I knew what he was built for, right? So for me, it was when I was feeding him one time, he bit me. Like trying to really bite me. I had marks on my back where if I didn't get out the way, he took a couple of pounds of flesh, right? And so when I'm feeding him, he's growling while I'm getting the bowl. See, those are blueprints that I would have stopped at a very young age. Some dogs, when you're breeding for a specific type of dog, you may get a couple of them that have a few screw loose, but it takes a serious, experienced handler on how to navigate with that. How to drive a pickup truck.
Yep.
You know, a 18-wheeler. It's got 16 gears.
Yes.
You gotta know how to do it, right? But see, I wasn't experienced in handling an older dog with bad imprinting.
Yeah.
And we had to get rid of that dog.
And it's crazy because we wouldn't say more so handling, it's called managing.
Yeah.
Because we don't change them. We can't change them. Right? We just manage how much do we let this dog do and which situations do I put him in that either put me in a situation where I gotta fight you or it can be peaceful. Because it's like this, recently encountering a dog where it's like this hell of a working dog. You love him on the field, right? But it's off the training and out of the work aspect where you'd be like, I really don't like this dog, right? Because it's a lot of baggage.
Right.
Right? And so really what it is like, you might not be the dog for me, but I know a person who has the time for you that will love to have you. And it's an experience, right?
Yeah.
Because the person is into dog behavior, and this dog having dog behavioral problem.
Right.
So really he just need a person who's able to consistently manage him, and he's gonna work for you perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Right? And then he has that and they're thriving. Yes, there was a bite incident, but that's because this is a dog that you can't force to do things. He's like one of these dogs where it's like, just to get in here, if you force him to do it, it's gonna fight you.
Right.
But if you allow him to just say, hey, come on, you know, just get up here, he'll do it.
With this other dog I'm talking about. So we were doing some training over there in Compton, behind Granger, and most of my dogs I've always trained with a prong collar. Like, you know, that's prong collar. I got like a bunch of them. This particular dog, the prong collar doesn't work for him. So as I was doing corrections, he started stiffening up. So he's loading up on me, and I'm not a dog trainer, so I'm not knowing like, okay, this dog about to take a bite out of my right? So as I was doing corrections with the prong, you know, doing my thing, couche, he looks at me, and next thing I know, he's lunging at me. And I had a hoodie on. So if it wasn't for the hoodie, I would have had to go to the hospital. But see, these are the things that trainers who have experienced the highs and the lows would have told me. And that's one of my bad experiences, you know, with this dog. And again, this episode was about if you want to be a dog trainer, right? Because you're gonna have some accidents.
Yes.
You're gonna have some bruises. You may have a few broken bones.
You're gonna have blood, sweat, and tears, most indefinitely.
Yes. And so with that being said, it's gotta be a passion. What was that slogan you said?
Said passion over profit.
Passion over profit. You gotta wanna do this. Money gonna come, but you gotta be passionate about what you're doing. Good boy. Good boy. Attack. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy.
Oh, there
Good
you go.
boy.
Push.
Good boy. Yeah. The reason why the trainer makes those noises, ow, all that, because in the wild, when a prey is catching his food, the first thing the animal is doing when that predator has that animal, he starts, "Arr!" Now he bites harder because now he said, okay, I'm killing this mother. That's why they make those noises, because now he's like, oh my God, I'm putting pressure on him. I'm hurting him. And the same thing is the animal instinct. When a lion's killing zebras, they hear them zebras start screaming. Lion clamps down even harder. His claws dig in even more. Now he knows he's winning this fight, man. So if you want to be a trainer, you got to learn all the acting skills. You can't get this from SAG, right? You got to get this from like hardcore training, and you got to come to the hood and do it. You're not going to go over there in West Hollywood, dude, and kicking it with the bros. No, you got to come down here where it's grimy, where you got real street dogs that want to do street protection or personal training for obedience. You got to get with it. It's not a pretty game. You know, you see all the dogs dancing off leash and but you don't know what it took to get to that point. And when you become a trainer, under the good tutelage of a real master trainer, these things will come natural. You'll eat, sleep, and breathe dogs. Hold your arm up. Boy.
Relax. Yeah, relax. Hug him right there,
Hug him. There you go.
Close your eyes. There you go. That's the pocket. You want to keep him right there. Look. There you go. So you just want to let him bite. So you relax. You know, come on, feel it. I know you feel it. Come on.
I'm gonna do a bite work with it too. Okay?
All right. Good. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so trainers, they're supposed to let the dog win, but they also try to let the dog look good. Now, when you're doing competition sports like PSA, the decoys are not trying to let the dog look good, and they're not trying to let the dog win. And explain why, Caleb.
Because it's like this. You spend all this time and hours and years and days, right, training from foundation, and then you spend time, money, travel, you training this dog, and that's the test. Testing is different. Testing is when all that foundation, that time you spent building that dog, this is that test, to test all that training. They're not there to help you. They're there to expose the flaws of your training.
Correct.
You raise this puppy up from preschool all the way up till time to take his finals, right? This is the make it or break it moment, right? And this is a time where a lot of people learn a lot about their dogs, unfortunately, right? Or you start to question your training. There's nothing wrong with that because it's just back to the drawing board. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it shouldn't be looked at as a frowned upon thing, but something that you should embrace. Because think about it like this. You spend all this time and money to train a dog, and then for him not to achieve success, why? Because a lot of people stop there. Yeah. But they let that one bad experience stop them, where it's like this. No, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, fix these holes on my dog, and then I'll see y'all again next year. You see what I'm saying?
And redo that scenario, but apply the same pressure in that scenario. So now when it's time to go out there, it's another show. Case in point, like when I was in the police academy many years ago, you got pre-academy and you got post-academy. Pre-academy is when the department had you doing all this physical training. So we're doing 6 miles a day, up and down hills. And what he was doing is he was training us because he said the academy ain't gonna be as hard as it is right now. So we train real hard because when we doing that real show, it's repetition. It's easy. It's easy. So with that being said, I want to thank William for showing up. Look at Will. I mean, he's built for this, right? I mean, you can tell, right? And my man Caleb right here at South Bay Malinois. Follow South Bay Malinois. They're doing big things for the inner city and the Metroplex area. I'm going to put their information at the bottom of my YouTube channel in the description. And I want to thank Sykes and Kim for allowing me to use their facility to shoot this good video. There's more to come, and until then, peace be unto you.